back. Just got out the shower, been for a lovely walk this morning in my dressing gown. I actually haven't put this dressing gown on this year yet because it's been cold, and I've now got my lovely silky dressing gowns out. I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna put this Wined Medina Dew Melting Rose Water Cream on my face. They sent this to me the other day and I'm excited to give it a try. Beautiful packaging. Oh, look at this. This is so pretty. It matches my, will you focus? It matches my dressing gown. The fact that it's a water cream is promising because that's the kind, yes, look at that jelly consistency. That's the kind I love for my skin. But yeah, I just went on a walk this morning. I've been really getting into my morning walks recently. How are you all enjoying the spring weather that's finally arrived? I've really not been going to the gym. I got ill. I had 2 colds back to back, went to the south of France and have just gotten out of the routine, and this happens to me a lot where I fall off the routine. And so my way of combating that is to just start introducing the routine back in slowly so that it doesn't derail everything. That's a lovely moisturiser. Oh, feels so good. One of the things that I've been really getting back into is going on long walks because of the bad weather. I just wasn't doing that. Me and Alex were splitting up the dog walking and doing it when we could, but because it's been lovely weather and spring is coming, or spring is here, I've been going out the door first thing with Roxy and it's been so amazing. But I was actually just chatting to Alex this morning and he was like, you should say this to the vlog because that's maybe really relatable for some people. And I was saying that because I've been going without my headphones, I have been really reflecting on how I feel that day, and it's really given me that opportunity to kind of, I don't know, feel what I'm feeling and notice the difference day to day. I'm gonna use my Skin and Me SPF, Daily SPF, SPF 50. I was just chatting to him today and saying how this morning I just really felt funny. Yesterday, when I went on a dog walk, I had a really lovely time. I just felt like I was on an adventure. I was really like loving the sound of the birds, looking at all the beautiful plants, just really enjoying myself and finding it very relaxing. And I just wanted to stay outside. I didn't want to come home. Don't forget the neck. But today I'd been walking for maybe 10, 15 minutes and I realised I hadn't even really looked up yet. I hadn't even paid attention. It was almost as if I'd been transported from home to 10, 15 minutes away from where I live. And I was like, what? I really wasn't being present. And then on the walk, I was having loads of fuddly-duddly mixed thoughts, like loads of things, you know, and sometimes your brain is just firing things. I just find it fascinating how one day I can be just walking aimlessly and just thoughts just flowing in and out of my head, and I'm not really like thinking about anything in particular. And then the next day I can be going on a walk and my brain is going, you've got this work to do. This thing was making you feel anxious yesterday. This thing is stressing you out. Oh, but you've also got to do that. Oh, but when you get home, and like, you know, your brain is like firing this stuff at you. And I don't know, I just was noticing, and I was telling Alex that, and I was telling him why I think that was the case, because there was a couple things yesterday that made me feel quite triggered. I wanted to share that because if you're someone who experiences anxiety, depression, any sort of mental health issue, I feel like over the years of experiencing mental health problems and having therapy, I've really gotten so much better at noticing how I feel and accepting it, and also maybe attributing it to something so that you can kind of move on and be like, that just is what it is. This is how I feel today and that's fine, and it's probably because of this. And so therefore I can just move forwards. It's something that you only learn with that perspective. Maybe me 10 years ago may have ended up having an awful day today and kind of being quite destructive or self-sabotaging or giving up or getting very anxious, potentially having a panic attack. You know, anything. There could be a whole host of things that could have happened today had I not had the awareness of why I was feeling like that. This is the Hourglass concealer. I think it's their airbrush concealer. This is in Birch. Is it their Vanish? It says Birch Vanish, so maybe it's their Vanish concealer. This concealer a little goes a long way. I might have put too much on, but it is an absolutely phenomenal concealer. Like, I feel like my under eye bags so much less from this concealer. And one thing that I've learned in therapy that has been extremely useful for me is that tool of noticing thoughts, but kind of letting them come in and letting them leave, and you don't have to pay attention to them, in terms of like, you don't have to do what they're saying. So sometimes I may have a destructive thought that I know now through therapy is it's a trigger, and it's also kind of like child me coming in and saying, hey, I'm stressed, I'm worried, and therefore this is the way I know to cope from maybe childhood or from my years when I didn't have the confidence or the ability within myself to support myself. And now I know to kind of go, you know, it's okay. I remember my therapist saying this very specific thing. She said, when you have those kind of scared thoughts, you can kind of say to yourself, it's all right, I've got it covered. I'm on it. I'm dealing with it. I promise you, it's okay, and I'm sorting it. Or, you know, it's under control. And just giving yourself that reassurance. And I actively do that now. Whenever I have those thoughts, I either just let them pass and go, yeah, that's just a thought. It's my brain either playing tricks on me, or it's just a thought. That's all it is. It's literally just a thought. Or I will, if it's really troublesome and it's really getting to me and I can't get that thought out of my head, I will literally say to myself, I've got it covered. I know how to deal with this. I've done this before. And I will then kind of go into a mode of doing my routines and doing the things I know that make me feel better. Eating a good meal, getting outside in nature, speaking to family and friends, writing a to-do list, you know, just getting stuck in with the day. And it is invaluable. I cannot express to you how invaluable it is, because me 5-10 years ago, or, you know, wouldn't have been able to cope with these emotions and these feelings. And it makes me emotional and very proud of myself, because it's not that I've like recovered from these mental health problems. I have accepted, and I've said this in videos before, I've accepted I'm someone who deals with mental health problems. I deal with anxiety, OCD, depression. I've had an eating disorder, so therefore that does come up in my brain sometimes. Binge eating, you know, it's a big lot of things that my brain struggles with, but when they show up, because they always will do, probably for the rest of my life, I now know how to react and how to deal with them and to be gentle with myself. I was also talking to a friend yesterday and encouraging them to go for therapy, and it just made me just feel like how important it is to seek help and seek therapy when you are experiencing these things. Because if you feel like you're in a place where you feel destructive and the same things keep happening over and over for you, the same feelings keep coming up, and you're unable to deal with them, honestly, the best thing you can possibly do for yourself is seek therapy. And that's why I'm very excited to be working with BetterHelp on this video. I've worked with them in the past, and I've shared how much BetterHelp have helped me personally. They connect you with a credentialed therapist who is trained to give you helpful, unbiased advice. They're there to listen and support you through whatever it is that you're experiencing. So the way it works is you go to BetterHelp's website. I'll leave a link down below on screen, and you can also see here what it looks like. So you go to their website and then you just answer a few questions. This will help you to get connected with a professional who has years of experience helping with struggles that you are facing. It's as simple as that. And the benefit to BetterHelp is that it can all be done online and over the phone. So it kind of cuts that barrier of having to physically go in person, which I know when I first started therapy was the thing that scared me a little bit. I didn't want to bump into people I knew. I was just a bit afraid. I was in that very insecure state of mind. It's very nice to be doing it in the comfort of your own home, via phone or via video call, so that you just feel a bit safer to open up, or at least for me, that's how I felt when I was doing it. And the amazing thing also is that you'll usually be matched with your therapist within 48 hours, which I think is amazing, that quick turnaround, because if you're facing something that is really, really difficult for you right now, it means that you can have a conversation with somebody quickly. So I really encourage those of you who are relating to what I'm saying, who deal with ups and downs day to day, who notice that you're experiencing things like anxiety, depression, OCD, eating disorders, if it's something that's been playing on your mind, if you haven't been feeling yourself, if there's something that's taking over your thoughts day to day and it's interrupting your life, it's affecting your relationships and it's affecting your work, then I really, really recommend checking BetterHelp out. I'll leave a link to them down below, or you can choose Madeleine Olivia when you sign up. and you'll enjoy a special discount for my audience members. So thank you to BetterHelp for the discount. And I'd love to hear from those of you who have been seeking therapy or who have used BetterHelp in the past and your experiences with them and how it's improved your life or how it's changed your experience, because I think the more of us that talk about mental health and open up, the better. So if you feel comfortable doing so, please leave your personal experience with therapy and how it's improved your life, because I think if more of us talk about it and advocate for it, then more of us can seek help and end up healthier and happier as a result, which would make me very happy to have a community encouraging each other to do that. Oh, by the way, I was using this Complexion Rescue Natural Matte Tinted Moisturiser from Bare Minerals. This is also SPF 30, which is actually lovely. I always put SPF on underneath anyway, because I'm a pale girl. I actually feel a lot better having spoken to you about this, so that I can just move on and feel these feelings and understand that today isn't going to be maybe the best day, but it also could be better later, who knows. But not every day I'm going to be feeling 100%, and that's fine. This is just the Bare Minerals Serum Infused Brow Gel. I'm going to put some of my lovely RMS Beauty cheek tints and my Amy, what's it called? The tubing mascara. And the sun is coming out. Yay! The wisteria is out. Did you see? Well, it's like 2/3 to 3/4 of the way out, and then the last little blooms are just making their way out. So I think by the end of this week it will all be fully out and I will update you. But it's really windy and it's kind of stressing me out. Yesterday we had like loads of rain and wind, and we'd had a beautiful week in England of sun, and I think that's what brought the flowers out. And then yesterday there was a storm, and today it's really windy, and where we are, we're quite exposed. We're in a valley, but all the wind kind of comes to our house because of the way it's angled. And this does happen actually most years, that the wisteria comes out, and then the second it comes out we have a storm and there's loads of wind, and then all the petals just get blown off. Last year it was really bad. I remember pretty much we had like 2 or 3 storms back to back, and we didn't even have really any flowers because of how they all just got blown off. So I'm really hoping that today is the last day of wind like this and it doesn't do too much damage, because I'm already looking at the patio and there's loads of wisteria petals, and it just is like, before it's even been able to do its thing, they're already falling off because of this wind, because they're so delicate. So fingers and toes are crossed. It's Tuesday. I didn't vlog yesterday, just felt very tired. I feel like I'm still in a bit of a funk, so I'm getting there, trying to get back into the routine. I have been loving my morning walks with Roxy. That has been something that's actually really helped me get back into my routine. And I've been going without any headphones, so I can really have a moment in my day where my brain isn't being stimulated. I think it's so common now for us to always be watching TV, listening to a podcast, listening to an album, always having something on. And I think it's really important for your mental health and for your mental clarity to have times in your day where you're not actually being stimulated in any way. And what I found is the rewards of those walks without headphones is that I'm actually, I guess, working through a lot of the problems or issues or worries I'm having. It's making them feel less daunting or less big. So there are certain things that are coming up just on their own, not even really thinking about anything, I'm just aimlessly walking, but they come up when you're walking, when you're not being stimulated. Whereas if I was listening to music or listening to a podcast, it would probably just get buried. And I remember, funnily enough, listening to a podcast about walking years ago, and they expressed this exact thing, that when you go on walks, you basically your brain's like a filing cabinet, and it will file away those problems, those issues, those feelings, those emotions, and also it will help you to come up with new ideas. And maybe you find this in the shower or when you're walking, that some of your best ideas happen. And that's why back in the day, all the famous writers from the Renaissance period or from Greek and Roman times, they reference walking in their habits when it comes to stimulating their writing. And it's very true. So if you regularly go on walks and you have your headphones, give it a go without and see how it makes you feel, because it can be quite enticing. And now I almost way prefer it without. So there's my little spiel on walking. But I've got this new top on. We went to St Ives at the weekend, which I think I did vlog, but I think I came home and didn't show you what I picked up. But it's this lovely, I feel like a mum. a hippie mum and I'm loving it. And the tassels, it's super soft, very, very long. So I've got it on with my new M&S trousers, which are my favourite trousers now. I absolutely love them and they have them in loads of colours, so I will link them. Let me show you. I'm really gutted I didn't get the stripy ones. So they're just baggy linen trousers. They're high-waisted and they've got a little toggle so you can tie that, but you don't need to. And I got them in long and they are actually all the way down to my feet, which is very rare for trousers for me. And I'm like really hoping they come back in the stripy. I'm thinking of getting them in the beige or another colour because I just love them. It's lunchtime, so I'm gonna make myself a nice tempeh salad because we're getting back into the swing of meal prepping and eating well. And I've just had a Riverford delivery literally 5 minutes ago, so I will also show you what came in Riverford. But I'm excited for this week because I want to basically, I've got a really exciting photo shoot happening at the house. I don't think I can tell you what it is, but stay tuned. It's like, honestly, I can't believe it. I'm in awe that this is happening. So that I have to prepare the house and I have to make sure that everything's ready. I'm not gonna make myself go mad over it because I did find myself starting to go, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to finish this project, I need to finish that project. And then I remembered this specific company who want to, I can't give it away. The people who want to shoot my house didn't shoot it based on what renovations I'm going to be doing in the future or me redecorating. They approached it with the house that they see online already. So I've just had to remind myself of that, but there's just things that I need to prepare because, to be honest with you, the 2 spare bedrooms have become dumping grounds and they don't look very nice at the minute, so I need to like sort those out. I want to like maybe do a bit of a zhuzh in the kitchen. I need to like plant some pots and just dress the shelves nicely, and the living room I want to move the piano out so it's spacious in there, and just do stuff like that. That's my plan for this week. I also really want to paint the front and back door. Not needed, but it's one of those things I've been wanting to do and this is the push to get it done. So that's kind of what the focus is this week, is to get those things on the list that I've been putting off, get it done.
Take me on a spree, I wanna get to know me, every little inch of me. Gentle while you stroke, when you picture me, every number count, love tokens. Where did all the swallows fly when I was 17? Caught up in a dream.
Riverford haul time. I'm excited for this. We've got chestnut mushrooms. And also reminder, link below, you get £15 off with Riverford. It's just a friend recommended link. Am I in focus? There I am. It's a bit dark. Yeah, it's just one of those, that's better, it's corrected itself. It's just one of those links that's like recommending a friend. So you get 15 quid after your first box or something. Blueberries. I often put these in the freezer because they're a really great snack. If you're someone who's trying to eat more fruit and veg, rinse your fruit off. Things like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, any berries, banana. You can even chop up other fruits and put them in the freezer, like pineapple, grapes. And if you're trying to eat more fruit and veg, then it means that they're always there basically. Whereas in the fridge, you can forget about them or it's too late. And after dinner, mid-afternoon, it's a great snack. And then you're eating more fruit and veg, you're getting more nutrients, and I find it really helpful because if I put it in the fridge, sometimes I forget, which is not ideal. We've got broccoli, some very green bananas, but that's a good thing because then they can ripen up. I'm a bit behind on some of this fruit I need to eat, which is probably a reminder from last week. We've got some apples. We've got some delicious carrots. We had this last week as well. I think this is very similar to last week. Some beautiful, colourful carrots. And then we have got tomatoes. Some lovely tomatoes. Some spring onion. And and some potatoes. What I often do on a Monday and a Tuesday, because that's like the start of the week and then we get Riverford on Tuesday, is I'll make like a big curry or a stir fry full of the veg that's left from the previous week, because I tend to meal plan for the following few days, but by the time it gets to Monday, Tuesday, like you're running out of food or you can't be bothered to do what's on the meal plan anymore. So this evening, I'm gonna make a big curry with all of the leftover veg from last week, and then it means we've got leftovers, we can have it for lunches, that kind of thing. So that's the fruit and veg box. Oops. Then we've got the salad box. Again, I love this every week because I can make a really big salad as like meal prep. I know I made one today, but I can make one for the following week, and it means that I've just got something to eat every day for lunch without having to think too much. So we've got more spring onion, 2 red peppers, or more tomatoes. Alex will be happy because he puts tomatoes in his vegan omelette most days, and also he loves a pita hummus tomato lunch. And then we've got some little baby lettuce and some celery and some cucumber as well. And then these, I thought I'd over-ordered. I was like, shoot, did I like add something by accident? But they've just split them up. We've got, I have this I think every 2 weeks, lemons and garlic, because I just get through those. And then we've got a jar each, of butter beans, organic butter beans, and organic chickpeas from the Bold Bean Company. Best beans ever. And I've met the founder and she's lovely. Really, really lovely girl. And then we have shiitake mushrooms. I add these to my order every week because I love them. Linguine, again, this is something we have every week because Alex loves a good linguine. We had black bean meatballs from my cookbook last night. That's definitely his favourite recipe from my cookbook. He makes it every week. I think he just loves the fact that he can make his own meatballs now, and he realises how easy it is, because we used to buy the frozen ones. But I actually think he prefers the taste of these, and obviously it's a lot healthier because you're getting so many different nutrients from things like black beans. And then we always get loads of tofu, so I just have on a repeat order 4 things of tofu. And this is also something that you can put in the freezer. I'm going to put 2 of these in the freezer and then 2 of them in the fridge. And that's a nice little hack for tofu, because when you freeze it, it creates these kind of like aerated, it makes it, you know when you get a takeaway and they have tofu that's breaded, it makes it go more like that. It has that kind of aerated texture, which is really great for absorbing and marinating tofu. I probably still prefer tofu just from the fridge. I know that the freezer option is what everyone recommends to make tofu more delicious. I actually prefer the sort of silky taste of tofu just straight out of the package without it being frozen, but they both are kind of different for different reasons. So I tend to put some in the freezer and some have in the fridge. And that's everything, I think. Yeah, so I'm just going to put this food away and then I've got to get back to work. I'm finding it really hard to motivate myself at the minute, but I think that's a time of the month thing, a post going away thing. Also, I end up, every time we do any renovation project, I'm always burnt out. And as soon as we finish, I'm just like, oh, and I don't have any motivation. And I think it's because you power through with adrenaline to get something finished, because we were painting the office. That, I don't know if it came across on camera, but it took so long to sort of do layer after layer and then do all the fascias and then all of the wood and sandalwood and then do the doors, the windows. Like, it was a very laborious, is that the right word, process. Unlike painting a room where it's just the, you know, the walls and the doors and the skirting, it was a very like long, tedious process. So I'm very glad that it's finished, but I think it just wore me out. So I'm just struggling to feel motivated at the minute. But you know, the older I get, the more I realise that you always ebb and flow with your motivation, and that's fine. Just do your best. So I'm gonna run with that. I'm just gonna get on my laptop this afternoon. I do want to spend a bit of time in the garden because I planted lots of things the other day and I want to just check for weeds, but I think I'm just going to do that later. I am struggling to get back into the gym though, you know. I'm supposed to be going to the gym today, and the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, I do not want to do that. But maybe I should just do it because I plan to do it. We'll see, we'll see. Good Thursday afternoon. I've just made some energy balls because since I did the shoot for these energy balls a few weeks ago, like a reshoot, I bought these metal dates from Buy Whole Foods online, and I said to you, I need to make energy balls more because they're so useful for like post-lunch coffee break. And I just made myself a coffee and I was like, Maddie, you've been saying that you're gonna make these ever since that shoot and you haven't yet. So I just thought I'm just gonna do it now. It doesn't take long, just make them. So I doubled the recipe, so I've got 12 of them. And I've done 4 with cocoa powder on the outside, 4 with desiccated coconut, 3 with walnut, and then the last one I just use up the remainder of the ingredients. And I'm gonna have a cup of coffee out in the sunshine with one of those, and then I've got enough for the rest of the week and probably next week. I was listening to Taylor Swift. I was listening to her Eras Tour playlist, the set list, so that I was saying to Alex, he came home, and I said, I'm revising, because I was looking at the lyrics. I'm the sort of person who does not absorb lyrics. I will listen to an album 50 times and I still don't know the lyrics and I still don't know the names of songs. I absorb music, and I remember when I was younger, me and one of my friends, we used to talk about this, how she knew the lyrics to every song. So when I would go to gigs as a teenager, I loved going to gigs to all the emo bands like My Chemical Romance, Panic! At the Disco, Paramore, who are supporting Taylor, I can't believe it. You know, like Funeral for a Friend. I loved to go and see all those bands. But I wouldn't know the lyrics to a lot of their songs, but I would know like the guitar solos by heart and all of the instrumental parts. But my friend would know all the lyrics. So she would like help me learn the lyrics to songs because I don't absorb it. And I feel like people are split into one or the other. So please let me know if you are someone who absorbs the lyrics or the music. I want to be singing the songs and belting it out and having a fun time. And I'm also a Taylor Swift fan who only really became a fan in 2020. And I'm sorry for talking about Taylor Swift so much recently, but it's on my mind because she just released a new album and also I'm going to see her next month. But before 2020, I think her 1989 and Lover albums, I really liked them and I listened to them regularly and I was a fan of hers. And I remember 1989 specifically reminds me of when I lived in Newquay and I'd be going out with my friends and it was such a pop album and we all loved it, like with One Direction at the same time. And yeah, I remember that. But I only became like a real fan from Folklore because it emotionally just connected to me. So I'm trying to go back to older albums and older music and maybe songs that I haven't listened to as much and just, yeah, learn them so I can really sing them and have a great time at the tour. And it's very fun, I think, becoming a super fan of one artist. I feel like you go through phases with different artists that you love. And I'm having a phase with Taylor right now. A true superfan doesn't need to learn the lyrics because they know them already. I just explained this, Alex. Do you know the lyrics to all the Muse songs? Basically. No, you don't. Yes, I do. You don't sing along. Yes, I do. When? When I go to... Okay, so when did you become a Muse fan? Right after Twilight 2. How old were you? When did Twilight 2 come out? Don't know. How old are you though? How old were you? 14. And how old are you now? 38. No, you're 32, so how many years was that you've been 18. A fan? 18 years, okay? Yeah. And how many times have you seen them live? Twice. No, how many times have you seen them live? 6 times. So that's why you know all the lyrics. Oh, okay, there's always an excuse. Well, I've only really been a fan of Taylor Swift, like a fan who would know all the lyrics and all the songs for 4 years. So it's slightly different. Like, I love that, but I wouldn't be the sort of person who someone said, hey, who's your favourite artist? I wouldn't go, oh, Taylor Swift. That was not something I would say. You'd be embarrassed.
As discussed, she has too many songs to learn the lyrics for, that's true.
It's fun, and I love it when you get obsessed with a certain band or a certain artist and you have a moment with them and you just want to listen to all their albums and listen to all their lyrics. And I always go through phases, like the Shins I had a moment with, the National I had a moment with, War on Drugs I have had a moment with, Jeff Buckley I've had a moment with, so it's not just pop girlies.
We're seeing the National in a couple of
Yeah, we're seeing the National soon too. I'm gonna have my cup of coffee. I'm gonna microwave it because it's been sitting there whilst I made the energy balls because I decided to make them mid-coffee. Help. I can't do this. I'm rushing. Just as I was saying I was a bit in a hyper mood and rushing, I'm not joking, my coffee, I wish we filmed it when it was here, but it literally went like that. So it went all over every single shelf, all over the floor, all over the doors, all over the top. I don't think I could have dropped it in a more dramatic way, could I?
It's very entertaining.
Huh?
I've done it before with these drawers. The beauty is it gets into every little hole and you have to take all the trays out.
Well, I'm not doing that. It's stained it. Flip. Gosh, I have issues. I need to like go and see someone about my issues because what is wrong with me? Like, this is my life daily. Is anyone else like this? I'm the clumsiest person and it's so annoying. But I always walk into things, I always have bruises all over me. Miraculously, I got none on me. Got some cocoa powder on me, but fresh coffee time.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my head? Floating rivers upstream, the things that you said. Tell me and be honest, tell me, did you know that you would believe in me just like the winners know? Tell me and be honest, tell me, should I've known that you'd believe in me so painfully?
Happy Friday! Yay, it's Friday! Ali is going to be here shortly. My friend Ali, not Alex Ali. We're doing a shoot day for Portmeirion and I'm so excited. It's a really lovely day. We had to kind of wait out the weather a little bit this week and Thursday, Friday was looking much better than the rest of the week that was raining. And I'm so happy that it's sunny. Might turn later, but at least we have a full morning, I think, of sun. I've got my little M&S linen shirt on and then my new vintage jeans, which I'm still getting used to because they're not high-waisted. I've grown up in an era in which I always wore high-waisted jeans, and because I'm so tall, I used to get really funny about the fact they had to go to my waist. So I pretty much exclusively used to wear Topshop jeans. And I've said this to you, how I've really struggled. These are definitely mid-rise, or they are on me. I think they're meant to be mid-rise based on the size of the waist. So they go up to like here, and they're also like a boot cut, which is also a bit different for me, but I love it. Hopefully you can see that they're kind of boot cut, but I think they look really like casual like that. But I like them with my little Birkenstock clog shoes. I'm having quite a good curly hair day. I feel like I was very careful because I knew I was doing a shoot. It's like when I'm doing a shoot, I'm really careful with my hair, and then other days I just can't be bothered. But I really did not touch it. The key, if you don't want frizzy hair, use all your styling products, diffuse it or air dry it, but do not touch it. Don't even touch your scalp, nothing, and then you will have so much less frizz. I've just put oil in, so it does need to absorb that a bit. It's a little bit piecey, but within an hour or two that will loosen up. I've been on a nice walk with Roxy, and here are the plates and bowls that we're shooting. And I will leave a link to this if you want to go have a look, because it's so beautiful. If you're in the market for a new set, just look at this. So it's this really raw base and very, well, it's called minerals, so it's very organic mineral stoneware that is so beautiful. It comes in all these different colours. So we've got the aquamarine blue, we have the amethyst purple, the Rose Quartz Pink, which is just to die for. I think this is my favourite. And then the White Moonstone, which is just a classic if you just want a full classic dinner set that is a kind of very organic, very beautiful stoneware. But my highlight is probably these mugs. Look at how gorgeous these mugs are. I'm gonna make a coffee this morning with these. I haven't used them yet, mainly because of doing this shoot. I'm like trying to be precious with all of this beautiful stoneware, and I'm so excited to shoot it. So we've got a breakfast set up, a lunch set up at the beach, and then a dinner set up in our garden. We'll basically see how far we get. We may only be able to do 2 today because it's filming and getting photos. Those things can take some time, but we'll see how far we get. I'm gonna start quickly now by making some chickpea tuna, not for breakfast, and maybe the tabbouleh, just so I'm ahead of when Ali gets here. Yeah, then I can kind of have something prepped, or at least on the go, before she arrives. And Alex, bless his heart, Alex made this beautiful focaccia yesterday. I'll leave a link. I've got a recipe, and look at that. I cannot wait to dig into that. It looks glorious. He's so good at making bread. Like, look at how perfect that looks, and all of the grooves and crevices. Oh, and that is rosemary from the garden. So I'm gonna have my AG1, and I'm gonna probably take these down so we don't have laundry in the background. Just got to GRWM. Perfect weather. You can see St Ives, and we're just gonna walk down onto the beach and set up a sort of picnic. We've got a nice picnic basket filled with goodies that we're gonna take. And look how lovely. Look, I just said to Ali, it looks like we're not in England. Here's our cute setup. Got some chickpea tuna sandwiches, which is a recipe in my cookbook, some tabbouleh from my first ebook, and then some crisps and strawberries. And here's the beautiful stoneware. And I've got this amazing little picnic basket that I got from M&S last year, and these fit perfectly in there. It's just, they're just so pretty, and it's really nice if you ever want to have like a nice, just look at this view. And like, I can't believe that this is our job. Ali's getting some lovely shots over there. It's our job to shoot out here. Look how beautiful. This is GRWM Beach and GRWM Lighthouse. And over there you can see St Ives and Carbis Bay. Well, Carbis Bay is here, and then St Ives is on the end. So beautiful. I fell off vlogging. But we had a very good shoot day. I didn't vlog what we got at home. Outside we had my sun-dried tomato pasta from my cookbook and the focaccia with some side salad and some olives, and the setup was really pretty, and we even got some beautiful wildflowers from the garden and the hedgerows. I'm so tired though because it's so hot outside. Well, it's not as hot anymore because there's clouds. It just made me realise like how I just felt so lucky today that that's my job. Really made me feel very appreciative, and I was saying to Ali we need to do more days like that together, because I think I focus a lot on photography and recipe shoot days, but not enough on some, you know, really lovely lifestyle shoots that I can do, not just for brands but for myself, that we can come up with some really lovely ideas to make content for different platforms and work together on it, because I don't end up posting on Instagram as often as I'd like because I don't have the time, because I'm obviously focusing on YouTube videos and you know, recipes and my blog, and there's loads of other things that take up my days. So it would be really great to utilize Ali for more video content as well as photos. Yeah, I'm feeling quite tired now, so I'm gonna pour myself a glass of wine and sit in the garden and enjoy the sunshine. Then I might have a bath this evening because I'm really loving my book. I finished a book called Romantic Comedy that I picked up in the airport on the way to France, and I devoured it. It was probably one of the best books I've read this year. I think it is my favourite book I've read this year. I've had a series of like reading a few books that I just haven't enjoyed. I've just started them because they've been popular. Okay, it's not my favourite. I loved Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow as well. that was so good. But I feel like probably on paper this book is more the genre I like. So if you are someone who does like a romantic comedy, which is in the title, it's so well written. And I read an Emily Henry book last year called Happy Place. It was really popular, but I really didn't like it. I found it really predictable. I hate like reviewing books and sounding like I'm critiquing the person, because I'm sure so many people enjoy her books and I'm not the person to say that the book is bad. It's just, for me, I feel like everyone has a writing style that they resonate with, and I just found her writing style was not for me. I found it too young. I kind of felt like I knew what was going to happen, which for some people, they quite like that writing style and they quite like to kind of have a storyline that they can follow, that maybe they know what's going to happen. But I prefer it when I'm a bit like, I don't know what's going to happen. And romantic comedy, it was so well done and so like interesting. I just found it really interesting and really enjoyable, so I highly recommend that book. And the one I'm reading now is called The Secret Shore, which is based in Cornwall, and it is just taking me into another dimension. I love it so much because it's set in the war, the Second World War, with lots of scenes around where I live. So in the start, she takes a train through Praise and Beeble to Helston, and she's at a cottage near the Helford River, and it's so romantic and beautiful the way it's been written, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I'm gonna get that book and sit outside and continue. I'm like getting back into reading and loving it. I think that I spent a long time with books trying to read what was a good book, or what was a book that has, you know, hit the bestseller list, which maybe made me read too many books that weren't for me. And I'm quite fussy, I think. I'm learning. Some books I really just don't get on with, even though they're very popular. Like Colleen Hoover, again, is another writer I just cannot get on board with, even though I know she's so popular. It's just not for me. But I love a book about Cornwall. I love a period drama. I love a romantic book. So I'm gonna go get my book and sit outside in the sun with my sunglasses on. Stay. Good afternoon. It's Sunday and I was just enjoying lunch out here, and I was having one of those moments where I was just like, this is my home. Like, I actually can't quite believe it sometimes. The more we do at the house, the more I'm just like, this is my house. Like, look at this wisteria and all the flowers I planted are coming out. Some of them aren't doing so great, and I'm realising that this flower bed is definitely going to be a work in progress. So beautiful roses have come out. I'm so glad that they survived the move, and lots of the smaller plants I planted have all come out. This bed on the left especially. This one on the right is not so happy. This rose hasn't survived the move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and buy a new rose and put that in there, and then put this in a pot and cut it back and see if it does okay. Lots of my allium bulbs, I'm not sure why, but they haven't really done anything. I don't know. Give me advice. And the flowers haven't come out as much on this side. I think because in the morning it doesn't really get sun. It needs a bit of a zhuzh basically. I think if I get a new rose and fill that space, it will be okay. And the slugs have attacked that salvia and this aster. And then the salvia flower came off, which is great. So not sure. It's all a work in progress and we'll get there. But this rose, hopefully when it comes out, it's going to be amazing because it's got so many buds. And look at the wisteria. So many lovely blooms. We trained it to go across here to the annex, and all of these blooms are so lovely on this little pathway. And I think now it's there, probably next year it will give it a chance to have even more blooms. But yeah, look how lovely. This is not my garden, like what the hell. Hopefully they're just going to look, give me advice if you have any. Oh look, he's coming out. Yeah, hopefully these are going to look way more full in years to come and I can add more and fill them out. But the plan today, I'm going to start on the back door and then do the front door. I had to decide whether to paint the inside blue as well or white, and I've decided to go for white so that it matches the sort of interior doors and it brightens up the space because the hallway is a bit dark. So I'm going to start just by painting a coat of blue on the front and back door, and I think that's going to look lovely with the wisteria as well, because the green, I'm just over the green. I feel like the blue will really work with the limestone and match the annex, the office as well.
Breaking borders. What do you know? Follow your heart. What do you say? Fight the darkness till break of day. The heart and the past changing so fast, like a cup